And here's the truth. Who you know will often matter just as much, if not more, than what you know. Welcome to the Trill MBA Show, the career management podcast teaching Black women how to become unstoppable at work. I'm Felicia Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA, delivering the inspiring truth through strategies and tactics so you feel protected, confident, and ready to conquer your career. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We've been breaking down power step by step. First, get out of your own way. Second, break all the rules strategically. Third, show up in a powerful way. And 4, craft a strong personal brand. So those are the first 4 rules. So now today, we're tackling something that too many of us shy away from, but is absolutely essential to building and amassing power and influence. And it is definitely essential for any success that you want in your career and in your life. And that is networking relentlessly. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I know, some of y'all are already rolling your eyes. Networking has gotten a very bad rep because people think it's fake, transactional, or something just for us extroverts. But listen, let me tell you, networking is not about schmoozing and faking it. It's really about building relationships. And those relationships will open doors for you when you strategically build these relationships. And they're genuine relationships. And here's the truth. Who you know will often matter just as much, if not more, than what you know. And we've all heard this. It's all about who you know. So today, we're going to unpack why networking is a power move, how to do it authentically, and the exact strategies that will help you connect with people who can elevate your career. Let's get into it. Why does networking build power? It's a simple equation. Access plus visibility equals opportunity. Here's the real. You can be the most qualified person in the room, but if nobody knows you're in the room, it doesn't even matter how qualified you are. So in this book, The 7 Rules of Power, Omid Kordestani became Google's 11th employee, not because of a job application, but because of his network. It was who he knew. Here's the takeaway. People trust and invest in who they know. So, what does that mean for you? Well, it's quite simple. You need to be visible to the right people. I get it. It's easy to say, but it's not always easy to execute. So let's talk about for a minute why that is. From a very human level, we strive for safety. There is a real thing called stranger danger. I think what happens to us at work is that when we know we need to build these relationships, this requires a level of vulnerability. Yeah, I said it. I'm not going to say it again because it's one of my hard words for me to say. But we have to let our guard down a little bit and understand that you're going to be okay. You're going to be safe. One of the things we've always been taught is that don't tell them folks your business. Don't trust them folks up there. They're not to be trusted. But here's the conundrum. In order to build relationships, you have to have a level of trust between you and the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. It's one of those things that you have to go in with your eyes wide open, but you also have to go in with your heart open too. And you have to know in yourself that you can protect yourself, that you will be just fine. And here's the catch-22 of it all. As you amass more power, the more open and trusting you can be with people, because at the end of the day, you have the power. There's not much they can do to hurt you. So, how I want you to think about this and the actions I want you to take right now, I want you to reflect on who are the 5 most powerful people who know your name. So in the comments, I want you to say, I know my 5. Okay. In the comments, I know my 5. Now, the other thing I want you to do over this next break is I want you to think who else should be on this list. And if you don't have 5, who do you want to be your top 5? Now remember, these are people that know your name. Okay, so take a second to think about that. Write it down in the comments. Tell me when you got it. I know my 5. And we'll be right back after this quick break. Hey guys, so we're just beginning the new season. We're off to a running start. But we have digital tools that accompany each episode to help you work through some of the tactics and strategies that you need to put into place so that you're thriving at work. So go to trillmba.com, and if you haven't already, sign up for our freebies and you'll get access to not only these digital tools that go with these episodes, but you'll also get access to every digital tool I've ever created that's free to you to help you in your career. Now, let's get back to the show. We're back. Now, if you don't have your top 5, no pressure, just something to think about, okay? So, Felicia, you have told us that we need to network. And I've told y'all this for years and years and years and years. But now what I want to think through and talk through with you is how do we network authentically and effectively, right? And again, I want to even replace the word network. I want to replace the word network with build relationships. So how do we authentically and effectively build relationships? So now that we know it matters, let's break it down in a way that feels genuine and not forced, and we feel safe. So one of the things that works for me specifically, and if this isn't your ministry, it's okay, but just know you got to get out of your comfort zone. But one good thing to do is be a connector and not worry about climbing so much, but think about it as how can I help other people and how can I connect people so that they help each other? See, you got to understand networking, i.e. building relationships, isn't just about what you can get. And that's part of the problem. People say you need to network in order to da. No, you need to network in order to be a help. And when you are a help, guess what naturally comes to you? Help. So your intention should be about what you can give, not what you're going to get in return. So that's number one rule about networking. One of the examples is Ross Walker. He threw these high value social events, not to ask for favors, but to bring people together. And in that, he grew his network. So here's your power move. Start introducing people to each other. When you become the connector, you become a very valuable resource to people. And thereby, you start growing and amassing your power base and your level of influence. So be a connector. That's the first thing. Number 2, make small and consistent efforts. Here's the thing that's one of the problems. You get laid off. Now, what do? Oh, let me re-engage. Let me talk to people now. Girl, you should have been talking to people when you in that job. So if you have a job right now, I need you to be consistent about staying plugged in and staying connected to people who you genuinely like, people who are doing dope things and they inspire you, and ask them how they're doing. Ask them how you can help, or just say, hi, I was thinking about you. Relationships aren't built overnight. They grow from consistent, low pressure interactions. If someone you know that's doing reasonably well, and again, you admire them, you see their post on LinkedIn, you have their number in your phone, text them. Hey girl, I saw you just got this promotion. I'm so excited and proud for you. Like, let me know if there's any way I can ever be of help to you. It's really not that hard if you stop focusing on yourself and focus on the people around you that you like, are inspired by, and you appreciate what they're doing in the world. Get out of your own way. So here's another power move. Set a goal to reach out to 3 people a week. No agenda, just a touch point. One thing I love, and it is Black owned, is Calendly. I have a Calendly set up just to connect with people, just to say hi, just to talk about anything, just to see how you're doing. And I send this out to people in my network that I want to stay connected to, and I want to know what they're up to and how I can help. That's it. And it's very easy. There's no agenda. It's just a touch point, and they can schedule it in their own time. And I love when I see the email from Calendly saying, somebody set up a meeting with you. I'm like, yay, I haven't talked to that person in forever. Use the tools that we have to make these check-ins and make those connection points easier to facilitate. Okay? Okay. Now, the last thing that we need to do is to be intentional about who we surround ourselves with. Your circle determines the trajectory of where you're going, especially in your career. You need to put yourself in rooms where people are going places, they're doing things. So going back to the example in the 7 Rules of Power, Ahmed Kordestani didn't just stay in his own lane. He built relationships across industries, right? So you need to think about who are the people that you want to move amongst and be in. I know for me, being a podcaster, there's a podcast community down here that I'm going to plug into. And so I'm excited about that. And I'm going to surround myself by people who are podcasting more successfully than I am now. And I'm hoping to learn a lot from them, but I'm also hoping that I can contribute in ways as well, because I have relationships with a lot of CPG brand teams and companies and all those things. So I'm going to be working to connect people. I'm doing this strategically, not just to help myself, but to help everyone around me and in my circle, because that's what happens when you build relationships. You're able to help each other. We all have tools to be impactful, and we all have relationships that can help everybody win. So we just need to think through it and think about it, right? So I want you to use this power move. Identify 3 spaces or events where you can meet high impact people. And these spaces and events should also allow you to contribute to them as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break before we wrap up. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some real world applications, okay? What we gonna do this week when we get back from the break. Hey guys, I am so excited that you are here watching this series on power. Please share this with your friends. This information is so crucial to you having a career that brings you peace and joy and ease in life. It truly is a game changer to gain and use power in your career management strategy. So follow along. These next episodes are all about Dr. Pfeffer's book, The 7 Rules of Power. You don't want to miss it. I have digital guides. Go to TrillMBA.com and sign up for our freebies. And there you will find all of the resources I've created over the years and the digital guides that go along with these episodes. Now, let's get back to the show. So, how can you tie this back to yourself? How can you do something today? So this week, here's your homework. I want you to reach out to one new person, and I want you to reconnect with an old contact. So it could be an old manager or coworker. A new person could be someone who works at a company that you may want to work for in the future. Use LinkedIn. Send them a note and say, hey, I've been watching your career from afar. If you don't mind giving me some advice and counsel, and I'd love to know more about your experience working at XYZ company. I've admired this company for a while now because of ABC. It's that simple, guys. Don't make it hard. And also use the tools. Use the tools. ChatGPT can help you write a succinct, concise, and impactful message. Learn how to use it. Learn how to use the prompts. And it's not just that one. There's Claude, there's Gemini, there's all these large language models that can help us craft language that is impactful and drives people to action. So use the tools, use the calendars, use the large language models, use all the AI things to help you get to where you're going. Okay? And learning how to use these tools also helps you shore up your skill set so that when you do get the opportunity from your network, you can crush it and kill it with no problem. So now listen, your network is your net worth. Let's say that again. Your network is your net worth. The people you build relationships with today could very well open doors for you tomorrow, and vice versa. But you can't just sit back and hope for the best. You cannot rest on your laurels on this one. You got to get in the game, and you have to put yourself in position. So here's what you need to do right now. You need to go to TrillMBA.com. If you haven't already downloaded the worksheet for today's episode, you need to do that now, and it will help you build your networking strategy. This week, I'll be live again on YouTube to answer question and answers, and we'll go deeper and we'll break down some of these strategies and tactics even further. So if you've downloaded the worksheet, you're on our list, and we will send you an email with all the information of time and date to join us live for the Q&A if you can. If you can't make the Q&A, you can always send me a question at ask@trillimba.com. Now, the last thing I need you to do this week, Don't gatekeep this information. Make sure you share this episode with your people. Do not leave them behind. We all need this information so we can all plan. 2025 is already off to a start. So let's get information. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, next up, rule 6, use your power. So after you've amassed power, you got to use it. And we're going to talk about that in next week's episode. So until next week, keep it trill. Well, guys, that's a wrap on another great episode of the Career Management Podcast for Black women. Yes, girl, this show is just for you. We're here to tell you how to play that chessboard at work, girl. So subscribe, comment, like, follow us on social media at Trill MBA Show. Listen, every time you tell one of your friends, you share this information, you share this podcast, it helps us to grow and make even more dope content just for you, unapologetically. That's why we're here. Now, if you are facing a workplace dilemma, such as a performance improvement plan, or you're not able to secure your promotion and raise that you have worked for and you have deserved, basically, if these people are playing in your face, we are here to help. Go to trillmba.com/coaching to schedule a one-time one-on-one call to workshop your specific dilemma with me. Or schedule a consult to get more information about the consulting packages that I do offer on a longer term basis. As always, you can reach out to us with your listener letters and your questions at trillmba.com. Until next time, guys, focus on your best possible outcome. Ask for help when you need it. Please, please, please ask for help. And as always, keep it trill. I'll see y'all next week.